You don't get to control your legacy. You control what you bring to the table every single day. To your teammates, to your coaches, to the fans.
Here comes big money.
My nickname is the White Mamba. Thanks, Kobe.
The GOAT delivers again!
Woo! To the best team in history.
I never looked at basketball for what it brought to me other than it made me whole.
In just 30 minutes, the Portland Fire and the Phoenix Mercury are going to tip it off over on ESPN and the Disney Plus app in a matchup between two teams just outside the playoff picture. But all eyes are going to be on the ceremony at halftime as Diana Taurasi's jersey is going up into the rafters. We're going to discuss her GOAT status and take a look back at some of the top moments from her illustrious career. All of that and so much more starts right now. And with that, we welcome you into WNBA Hoop Streams presented by Google Pixel. Welcome into our studios here in Bristol, Connecticut, alongside Lawrencia Moten. I am Sam Ravech. Great game going on right now between the Dream and the Fever, but this show is all about DT, Lawrencia. And the question that I pose to those watching with us on YouTube is, where does Diana Taurasi rank amongst the GOATs in the WNBA?
She's at the top of my list.
Point blank, period.
Literally.
Okay.
And I think, it's just so amazing for her to get this honor, especially now where the league is now. There's just so many eyes on it. And look at these accomplishments that she was able to achieve. The all-time leading scorer in the regular season and postseason,
right.
3-time WNBA champion, 2-time WNBA Finals MVP. Sam, we could literally spend an entire episode on everything that she's accomplished, but she's won on every level and still been so humble, and I'm just so excited for her today.
In a way, she set the standard, really, for the better part of 2 decades to show everybody else what it means not only to win, but to compete and to lead at the highest level in the WNBA. And again, we could go the full 30 minutes just kind of listing off all of the accolades and the awards that Diana Taurasi won in her career. Yeah. But when you look at the scoring titles, you look at the Olympic gold medals that she won, which milestone do you think stands out most to you? When you think DT, you think what?
This was kind of hard for me, but I was able to do some research and actually listen to her and what actually stood out to her in terms of all her accolades. And she said that her 2009 WNBA championship was the one that she has the most pride in. And it's because not only was she able to win that championship, but she was the finals MVP, the WNBA championship with the Phoenix Mercury, a WNBA regular season MVP, and she led the league in scoring.
Right.
They call that her 2009 Grand Slam.
Sure.
Sam, that is as close to perfection as you can get for an athlete. And like you said, she set the standard. She did it at age 27. I'm 27. I don't know if I would have been able to do that, in the WNBA.
No.
So, it's just so amazing. And I think that one sticks out to me.
And the longevity, too. We're going to be talking a lot about the years in which Diana Taurasi played in the WNBA. 20 plus. It was 20 years of greatness sustained over the course of 2 decades. It was tremendous. And that 2009 year was ridiculous. You can compare it maybe to like a 2000s version of Tiger Woods on the golf course. But for as great as she was, Lawrencia, she was only voted as the league's MVP one time in her career, and that was back in 2009, which got me thinking, how has the WNBA evolved over the years to favor the A'ja Wilsons of the world over the Diana Taurasis in regards to the MVP discussion?
Well, that's a great question. And I think, to your point, you have A'ja Wilson, you have Breonna Stewart. It's basically moved positions entirely, but it's not a coincidence at all. When I did more research, there are 2 big reasons why. Right now, the MVP voting panel focuses more on advanced metrics, So that means that stats that are rewarded to those individuals who touch every single part of the stat sheet.
Right.
So it's often easier for a 6'4" forward to have 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and blocks. They're going to outmath a guard who's averaging 22 points and 5 assists, right?
Sure.
Because they only touch those 2 parts of the stat sheet. The other part is defense. Defense now in today's league gets weighed way heavier. And to the same point, it's easier for a 6'4" forward to guard 3 positions and anchor a defense in comparison to a guard who often just has to guard along the wing.
Last true guard to win the MVP, but you talked about it. The 3 college titles, 3 WNBA rings, 6 gold medals. Obviously, and over 10,000 career points. So how do you measure that legacy? Not only what she meant to the game, which we've already discussed a little bit, but what she meant to basketball writ large for her career.
That's a great question. I think to me, you don't measure a legacy like Diana Taurasi's in just trophies, right? But instead you measure it in what she was able to give to young women and girls alike. And I could speak for myself when I say that Diana Taurasi and the type of player that she showed up as showed us that we can re-envision what a female athlete looks like. Often back in the day, and even now sometimes, female athletes are put in a box. They tell us to be humble, don't be too loud. But Diana didn't listen to that box at all. Listen, she was the type of player who would shoot a 3 in your face and you would hear about it.
Yeah, you would.
And now we're seeing that. And I think that she opened the doors and, she talked trash. She stared down to opponents. She had talent and she had a swagger to her. And in my eyes, she expanded what people believed a female athlete was allowed to be. And that's the legacy that I think she leaves.
And her stats really do only tell one side of the story. You're right. Her attitude, you're talking about like her fearlessness. That's what changed the way that women's basketball was played, really.
Absolutely.
And she didn't apologize for any of it, nor should she, because she won a whole heck of a lot. There will only be one Diana Taurasi, Lawrencia, right? I think we can both agree with that.
Yes.
But the next generation of WNBA players who Diana paved the way for are electric. I mean, they are must-see TV. So I'm not going to ask you, like, who is the next Diana Taurasi, but who do you think, like, she paved the way for, and who do you think emulates her game right now?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to say, in terms of emulating her game, 2 players stick out to me, and when I think of them, it's Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers. Okay, but for 2 totally different reasons. To me, Caitlin Clark, because, she's similar in terms of like that swagger, right? She's going to shoot it from the logo and you're going to hear about it. She's going to stare down a defense while she does it. And that's very Diana Taurasi coded to me. But on the other side, there's Paige, right, who statistically is similar. She's averaging 20 points, over 20 points a game right now, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, while shooting over 50% from the field. That statistically speaks to Diana Taurasi, but to your point, Sam, there's never going to be another. But if I could merge 2 players into one, then maybe they could carry the torch if they could combine, but that's impossible.
I love those options. I'm going to go a rung, you could say lower, but I'm going to go to the college ranks.
Okay.
Juju Watkins.
I love that.
I think has a lot of the similar characteristics that Diana played with. Maybe not like apples to apples for point guard, ball handling skills, but man, I mean, Juju's the freshman scoring record, right? I mean, she was the fastest player at USC history to score 1,000 points. I think she has the winning factor that Diana Taurasi has just established.
Absolutely. When I think of Juju, I get the same demeanor as DT, right? That idea that I just want to play basketball. Like all the other stuff is just noise. So I love that comparison.
Take a look at Diana Taurasi walking into the building there in Phoenix as she is set for the ceremony. Her jersey going up into the rafters. That will be at halftime. Again, the game on ESPN, Disney Plus, and of course on the ESPN app. I am confident that we'll be showing all types of coverage for this pregame, during halftime as well, and postgame. Our producers did ask us, though, Lawrencia, to share our favorite Diana Taurasi story throughout the years. And both of us, I think, are in a unique position to do so because we both have ties to the state of Connecticut, obviously, where Diana Taurasi played her college basketball at UConn. I'll go first.
Okay.
And then I want to hear yours. But so growing up in Connecticut, we didn't have pro sports teams. We had UConn basketball. That's what we had. And for a period of time there, when I was growing up here, the men were not great. The women were. Like they were the queens of the state.
Yes.
And so we used to grow up going to UConn basketball camps. And I remember distinctly in the year 2004, I was 10 years old at the time, going to UConn basketball camp. Diana Taurasi was one of the coaches. Emeka Okafor was the other. Having those two and having Diana Taurasi help me figure out how to shoot a 3-point shot as a 9-year-old is a memory that I'm going to carry with me forever.
I love that. Baby Sam being coached by the GOAT.
That's right.
That's so cool. Well, mine is a little more recent. So as you mentioned, I graduated from University of Hartford. Back in 2020, my senior year, the Team USA women's basketball team actually held practice at our home gym. This was iconic. I got to see Stewie, Sue Bird, and obviously DT, shaking in my boots. They allowed us to watch the practice.
Yeah.
After practice, we were able to go on the court and take pictures with the women. I didn't even know who I was going to talk to first.
Right.
I turn around and DT's maybe a step away from me. So I take a step towards her and I say, I am such a huge fan. And she looks at me, Sam, and she says, I'm a fan of yours. My heart drops.
Wow.
At the time, our head coach was actually one of her old teammates at UConn. So, she'd followed our team. But just her saying those words to me, I took a selfie, sent it to the family group chat, but a wave of gratitude just went over me. And I think that story to me speaks to not only who she is as a player, but as a person, right? She didn't know me, a 20-year-old girl, but to speak that life into me, Diana, if you're watching at any point, if you ever watch this, thank you, because that moment, that meant the world to me.
It's a great story, too, because so often we view these athletes as like untouchable figures or infallible humans. They are humans. They have feelings, right? And for her to go out of her way and show that care to you, I mean,
I'll never forget that.
Is just amazing.
Absolutely.
But over her 20-year career, we all had the privilege to view Diana Taurasi's game, series through a very particular lens. And she changed the way that basketball was played. She changed the lives of the players that played it as well. And there have been so many different moments in history where she has grown above and transcended the sport. The WNBA Countdown crew with Malika Andrews has so much more on this. Take a look.
Well, today the Phoenix Mercury celebrate Diana Taurasi, her career, and her jersey retirement. Monica McNutt, Andrea Carter, Shanae Ogumake, I'm Malika Andrews. And Shanae, you had the pleasure, we'll call it, of playing against DT for several years. I'm gonna take away the word pleasure and let you describe what that experience was like.
It was painful at times for me as a defender, and I always remember the first time I played against the Phoenix Mercury because I had the ultimate cheat sheet in basketball, aka I phoned a friend, I asked my big sister, I was like, hey, Nika, I'm taking on this team. What's a scouting report? And she told me something very special and specific for Diana Taurasi. She said, you're going to go set a screen. She's probably going to punch you. What? And I said, okay, let me be prepared. So I remember coming down the court and I'm setting the screen and I'm so nervous. I'm like,
close your eyes.
I was like, let me just go do this thing. So I went in there, set a tough screen, and she definitely punched me. But then I hit her back. And so this was the worst part. The play ended.
Yeah.
And that meant because of a foul. And that meant she had time to find me afterward. And so I was on the free throw line and she made a beeline. She never ever stands where the posts are on the free throw line. She usually is at half court. She walked right next to me. I was already sweating, but this time I was sweating bullets. And I turned to her, I'm like, she's gonna be so mad at me. And then she patted me on the back and said, hey, I see you. You don't go back down. That's Diana Taurasi. She's a little bit of pain when you played against her, but she also is a privilege because she is one of the game's greatest. She literally is the all-time leading scorer in W history. So she played fiercely, but she also brought us so much joy. So congrats, DT.
She played fiercely and she played through you a little. When she says the all-time leading scorer, how many of those were on you? Just a couple, right?
Funny.
Just a couple.
Just a handful.
Just a couple of those buckets.
Just a handful.
But in terms of standard bearers of the league, Drea, I mean, Diana Taurasi is up there with the all-time greats.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you talk about what she did on the court. Diana Taurasi, I mean, spent 20 years with one organization, the championships. What really stood out to me, I was reading this article that came out from the Phoenix Mercury they put out about Diana Taurasi. She won her first gold medal with Team USA at 22 years old. Her last one was at 42 years old. But it's not just the basketball. To me, it's how unapologetic she was and how true she was to herself. I think about when they were playing against Japan and she had the ball over her head and she's smiling. I think about the kiss on the cheek moment in the WNBA. Right? So many just unapologetically herself moments outside of basketball. That's what I remember about DT.
It is really cool, too, to us all be a part of her ushering into this next chapter, because while she's the 20 years on the court are over, I mean, you see the commercials around the W now. She's in the Deloitte commercial, like she has different media endeavors. She's still giving back to the game. She still has her camp helping young women prepare for the transition to become pros. And so what a privilege for us to have had the opportunity to enjoy all that she gave the game.
She is a bucket, and man, to me, she is laughter. Like anytime in the media space she comes and she joins us, she always makes a joke that's one that's like, you know what, I'm going to laugh, but I'm going to just keep that little button over there. Congratulations, Diana Taurasi. Well deserved.
Congrats, DT. One of my GOATs, one of the GOATs of the game on getting your jersey retired. Obviously, very much deserved. And you deserve all your flowers. And it's just the beginning of your retirement tour on getting all the acknowledgement that you get for being one of the best of all time. Thank you for all that you mean for me, for the game of basketball. Love you, dog, always.
It's not very often that you get to witness a player change the way that the game is played while they are playing that game. And she did so over the course of 20 years, which means, Lawrencia, that she was involved with and really orchestrated a lot of game-changing plays, right? So it was hard to boil the list down, but we did our best. We'll go through our top 5 plays of number 3's career as a collegiate and WNBA player. Let's start at number 5. Tosses the ball at defender after a block. So game 4 of the 2009 finals, the Mercury were down 2-1 in the series. Katie Douglas on the drive. DT swats it away and then throws it off her leg. Here's another look at it. Heads up play. This was a crucial moment and a crucial time in the series, right, Lawrencia? They're down a game. Yeah. They go on to win this game and clinch it in 5 games.
I mean, that basketball IQ that she has, just to know time and place when to do that, unbelievable.
Obviously was named Finals MVP, the first of her career there in 2009. So that's at number 5. And again, it was tough to boil these down, but let's see at number 4 who we have coming up next. Couple years before, this is 2006, against the Sky, cutting across the lane at the buzzer with the foul, able to get it to go. This is like one of probably 50 plays that I've seen Diana Taurasi do exactly that.
Yeah.
But this is number 4.
Yeah, listen, just flips it up, no care in the world, knows it's going to go in because she's practiced that.
Impossible, and one game winner. That comes in at number 4. All right, let's go to number 3 here, and we'll go all the way back to her college days.
Good old UConn days.
They're up here against Tennessee. Championship game. Diana hits the ridiculous left-handed jumper, falling out of bounds there. She had 28 points in this game. UConn won the championship, 73-68. It was their second straight title.
Listen, she is the definition of wanting it, believing it, and she brought that to every team she was a part of.
Obviously, UConn was great when Diana was there. She was great after she left, but in many respects, Diana Taurasi was certainly one of the defining pieces to the Connecticut run when they started doing those great things when DT was there in the early 2000s. All right, let's go down to number 2. Down 3, Game 2, 2018 WNBA Finals. That's right, 2018, she's still doing it, and pulls up for the three-pointer in the corner. This one to send it to overtime. Man, I mean, we've seen plays from 2003 to 2018, right?
But peep the little chatter right after. She's going to look straight at the bench and let them hear about it as well.
And you know what? She was also the first person to shake your hand after the game, right? I mean, she could be friends off the court, but once you got on the court, yeah, she was a different kind of player. Clutch 3 to send it to overtime. But what's the number 1 play of number 3's career? We go to the 2014 finals versus the Sky. DT drives, pulls up, and the jumper goes. She's fouled again. I mentioned it in play 4. We've seen it a bunch of times. We're going to play 1. And this one in 2014, cash money.
Cash money right there for DT. I mean, it's just so unbelievable when we truly think about the generations that she's transcended, and she's kept the same demeanor and perfection this entire time.
Game, set, match. Take a look at those top 5 plays. Again, you can make an argument for many more, but here were the top 5 that we decided to go to.
Great list.
You know, each and every one of those moments is going to be playing on a loop when she gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, which she is eligible for following the 2027 season. Now, we're not the only ones to give Diana her flowers today. Phoenix Suns' Devin Booker also had this to say.
DT, Book here, just wanted to give you a big congratulations on joining the Ring of Honor. Something we obviously knew was coming, but you know, you deserve it. You know, I appreciate your guidance. I appreciate your friendship and everything that, you know, you've instilled into me. You've been the epitome of what Phoenix basketball is. You've been a great person to follow and a great mentor. So this night is about you.
DB with some high praise for DT. We've already broken down Diana's GOAT status in the W, but is she the greatest professional athlete to ever wear the number 3, Lawrencia? That's what we have to decide. So we're going to play a little game here. Lawrencia and I are going to run through a couple of the more iconic number 3s ever worn in professional sports. we're going to raise our hand when we see a player that we would put above Diana. So what kind of criteria are you grading on here? What's
well,
the
I'm
scale?
going to go with DT's criteria. And she said that the measure of a player's greatness is winning. So I'm going to go based off that, based off of winning championships. Let's see.
Okay, let's see. Our first contestant, I guess you could say, won a lot of games, and he actually won the Heisman Trophy at USC as well. Carson Palmer, great college career, not a great pro career, which
Never
I think
won a Super Bowl.
might hinder him, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about winning. Hand down here.
For me.
We're in agreement here. Sorry, Carson, moving on. We got a couple more CPs that we're going to get to. A little tease for you later on there. Who's up next? All right, Russell Wilson. So we're getting to some championships here at least.
We are.
Russ, obviously, Super Bowl champ.
Yep.
Franchise quarterback,
You're
MVP.
Right. Yeah. No, hands still down though. Yeah.
Okay.
Only one Super Bowl for Russell.
1 versus 6 WNBA titles.
Yeah.
Not really in that ballpark. Sorry, Russ. Moving along, who's up next? We're going to the basketball court here. Allen Iverson was my favorite basketball player growing up.
Okay.
So I got a little soft spot here for AI.
Do I see that hand going up?
The hand is staying down. But in a similar capacity, I do think that Allen Iverson changed the way that the game was played.
Agreed.
Like Diana Taurasi did, though.
Absolutely. But he never won a championship.
No
not
championship.
Professionally,
Right.
right? So, no.
Okay, we're keeping our hands down. We have not raised our hands yet. Who's up next? This is where things are starting to get a little interesting here. Now, Dwayne Wade, 3 championships.
Yes, so we're
finals,
tied there.
Finals
Yeah.
MVP.
You're right.
Probably considered like a top 15 player in the history of the game on the men's side, right?
Agreed, but only 1 Olympic gold medal.
Okay.
He did get bronze, right? But in comparison to Diana's long tenure, still hand down.
Okay,
No,
hand
for me.
down. No love for Allen Iverson. We keep it moving here. Somebody, will we raise our hand? It's going to be a question. Now, here's Candace
This was
Parker.
tough.
This was tough. I thought about this for a long time, Lawrencia, because you're talking about 3-time WNBA champ.
Yes.
Same as DT, right? Also a 2-time MVP. The argument, I think, against it for me, and this is no fault of Candace Parker herself, she was injured a lot.
Okay.
So,
and that's a great point.
And I just think of the longevity
I
for
was about to
Diana,
say,
right?
And that's definitely what I'm thinking as well. But then I go back to those Olympic medals, right? And also when you're talking about a player who, like Diana, who stayed at one franchise her entire career, I'm really big on loyalty. DT is as well. Candace did show that she can, make a program great because she was able to win those titles with 3 different teams. But still no for me. And I'm a big Miss Candace Parker girl.
That count us both in that category, yeah. And Diana also has the scoring title, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, Candace was a great scorer in her own right, 2-way player. But yes, my hand stays down for Candace Parker. Let's see who else might be contending for the best number 3 of all time. How about CP3? This is a player that I don't think was appreciated enough in his time, right? The assist god in his own right. But you're still talking about the championship.
I am.
Here.
I'm talking about winning, right? And when we think about that, he never won a NBA championship, unfortunately. So still no. And, he did have an amazing career. So if we're talking about longevity, he does measure up to her there, but not in terms of winning. DT still got it.
I would agree with that. CP3 with the assists, Diana Taurasi with the points, and I think we would all talk about points over assists when it comes to the GOAT, right, of number 3. All right, this is our last one coming up.
Ooh.
Babe Ruth.
A heavy hitter.
Okay, you're looking at me. I thought about it. Now, look, Babe Ruth, 7 championships.
That's where my hand goes up.
I think my hand's going up.
7 World Series.
I'm going to put my hand up here.
Only because we're going based off of winning, and that's what DT says.
Sure.
Right? That's how she measures success.
I would love to ask this question to Diana Taurasi. You or Babe Ruth, who's the better number 3?
Also, when I was learning about her, Gino actually told her to have number 3 because of Babe. He said, you're going to be the Babe Ruth of basketball. And I think, she measured up to that.
Obviously two-way player, great pitcher, great hitter, right? But yes, my hand goes up for Babe Ruth there. But man, if you're putting Diana Taurasi right next to a Babe Ruth, that just goes to show you how great of these athletes that we're talking about here. So Diana Taurasi obviously on her way, if not already, to be the GOAT, the greatest player of all time in the WNBA. A'ja Wilson, though, might be next, but she showed some love to Diana Taurasi moments ago.
What's up, DT? Just want to say congratulations on your jersey retirement. Thank you so much for never changing who you are. It allowed young girls like me to do the same and to believe. So congrats again. You've earned it, deserve it. And yeah, this is you, Big 3.
All right, time now to take a look at our Tunnel Fits, brought to you by Google Pixel. And we're going to take a look at some of Diana's best moments on camera. Yes, the first one, that's DT in high school. Do you think she had any idea, like, or concept of what she was going to become at that age?
I think so.
I kind of do,
too. Because hearing her speak, you know, she said, I had this amazing delusion, as she called it. She believed that she would win no matter what she was doing.
That's back in high school. And then there's Diana rocking a nice white tee after winning not 1, not 2, 3 national championships for the UConn Huskies and Gino.
Not just any white tee. I see a big old champions on that white tee. I love it,
Rings on rings on rings. There's DT at draft night. Yeah, the #1 overall pick in 2004. And that Phoenix jersey was one she wore her entire career.
There you go. And that middle part bust down looks great. We didn't get much of that throughout the league, okay? She turned it into the bun.
Right.
That is she's iconic for right there. Ooh, oh my gosh.
That's the ESPYs.
She's so fresh.
Yeah, she received many ESPYs over her illustrious career, including Best WNBA Player 9 times, Best Female Athlete 3 times, and the 2025 Icon Award. She certainly is an icon. And how about here, rocking the suit in the Women's Fitness magazine?
Yeah, and like the same stance, you see? Like listen, if it's not broken, don't fix it. She is awesome.
And then this was in the docu-series last year. White suit, Katie Bender, director of the Taurasi experience there. This is really cool to see Diana evolve over the years, but man, is she still the same Diana Taurasi?
Literally,
and cold-blooded too, man. Like we said, she will give it to you on the court, and she'll let you know about it when she does. Before the game tips off, let's take a look back before we get to the international break, I should say. Let's take a look back at what Diana Taurasi meant not only to the game of basketball, but to everybody else off of the court as well, leading up to the game tonight.
All right, Dee, a lot of, over here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A lot of #3 jerseys out there today. When you see the #3 go up into the rafters, what are the emotions going to be like for you, and who are you going to be thinking about?
Wow. You know, I've really tried not to think about it. I just kind of want to let it happen when it does go up there. But just walking into the arena today, there's a lot of emotions. I'm used to coming into here, getting ready to compete and play for these fans. So it's a little bit different, but I still have that same mindset. I'm so grateful and thankful that this was my home for all 20 years. And it still feels surreal.
You just tell the authenticity there. Like, she loves this city.
Absolutely.
This city loves her back. And it's never more present when they change streets after your name, your name. They changed Jefferson Way to 10646 Taurasi Way in reference to the 10,000 plus points that she scored in her career. It's also interactive. I mean, like, the city of Phoenix loves Diana Taurasi. She loves the city.
Absolutely. And listen, Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego said that they actually put up the street sign in 2017 when she broke the scoring record. But obviously now they have to update the sign. So that was the update to the sign, which is awesome.
And her legacy might also continue into the owner's box as well. It was just a couple of days ago that she made fairly clear she has more ambitions to get into ownership with the Phoenix Mercury.
Yes, which I think is an amazing idea. When we think about owners and individuals who truly love and care about a franchise, you think about those players who've given their blood, sweat, and tears. Diana Taurasi has done that in terms of Phoenix, right? She loves the city, she loves the franchise, and what better person to be a part of ownership in any capacity than someone who's literally been there and done that? These athletes believe in her, they know what she's done, and I think it's going to be awesome if she follows through with this.
There are some cautionary tales here. You think about like a Michael Jordan, you think about a Tom Brady. However,
they didn't spend, well, Tom Brady, okay, we're a little, let me not get ahead of myself, but, you know, they're not Diana Taurasi, and loyalty is the #1 thing that she hangs her hat on. So I think that she's loyal to Phoenix, and that Phoenix will be loyal to her.
Also, one of the biggest differences, they're not the owners of the teams that they played for, right? This is a little difference for DT. She has a lot invested there, obviously 20 years of sweat equity in championships that she's now hoping to parlay into the owner's box. Really quickly, before we get out of here, we're going on the international break.
We are.
DT will not be with this Olympic team. You mentioned how important that part of her career was. What is this going to feel like and look like without Diana on the roster?
Well, I think it's going to feel it's a little sad, right? Because she's somebody who we know and understand what she's put into this,
Right.
but she has put in enough where these young ladies can carry the torch. She set the standard, and they've been a part of it. They're going to continue to make her proud, I believe so.
Really well said. Again, paved the way for a lot of the players that you will see tonight on the court with the Portland Fire and the Phoenix Mercury. Again, the ceremony, jersey number 3, going up into the rafters at the halftime, so make sure you stay tuned. This game next on ESPN, Disney+, and of course on the ESPN app. That's going to do it for us, for Lawrencia, Moten, and our entire crew. I'm Sam Ravech saying thank you so much for watching WNBA Hoop Streams presented by Google Pixel. Again, head on over to ESPN, the Disney Plus app, to watch the Fire and the Mercury game, to see Diana's jersey retired, where it should be, up in the rafters in Phoenix.